The gentleman from Tennessee, the Vice Chairman on Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee, Mr. Rose, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Stile, and I want to thank Chairman Hill and Ranking Member Waters for holding this important hearing, and Secretary Bessent, thank you for being here with us today and answering our questions. Secretary Bessent, given that the Mint, the U.S. Mint's own fiscal year 24 report shows that the nickel, the U.S. nickel now costs 13.78 cents to produce, and that experience in other countries suggests that our nickel production or demand would double, triple, maybe even multiple times beyond that if we eliminate the penny. Is Treasury analyzing the risk that stopping penny production alone could actually worsen our coinage losses or seigniorage losses by pushing annual nickel losses well past $200 million?
Congressman Rose, that we have looked at this and we believe that it is possible by changing the composition of the nickel to bring down the cost to 5 cents or less.
Absolutely. That was going to be my next follow-up question to you. So
I will point out that the dime is very profitable.
Yes, and you know, it'll sound like a little self-interest, but a Tennessee company is one of the folks that could lower the cost of the nickel and has made a proposal that I know
We're investigating that with them and are very intent on maintaining those jobs, sir.
And I would just say from my deep dive into both penny and nickel production, it seems to me that there are significant savings beyond just saving on composition of the nickel. So I would encourage Treasury and the Mint to take a look at refocusing how we produce those coins to make them actually positive for the balance in terms of producing seigniorage for the United States. So I'm glad to hear that you're moving in that direction. Secretary Bessent, the President has recently made budget requests that propose significant cuts to the Community Development Financial Institutions, or CDFIs, or the CDFI Fund, and suggests to end core CDFI programs. I know you've recently made public comments about the statutory basis for the CDFI programs. What is your position on the future of the CDFI Fund, and do you believe it should continue to play a role in supporting access to capital in underserved communities across the country?
Well, the Congressman, as I told the Congressman on the other side of the aisle, we are creating a new $100 billion award program that would provide access to affordable financing, and this will be mostly in rural America.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that, and I understand we always need to be addressing how these programs work and whether they're efficient and cost-effective and produce the outcomes we want, but I am glad to hear that you're making moves in that direction. And I just want to pause at this point and say broadly, it is refreshing to have competent, aggressive, energetic leadership. And so I commend you for that, and I'm very excited about the things that you're doing at Treasury. Secretary, can you discuss the significance of confirming President Trump's regulatory appointees in advancing his America First agenda? Specifically, how do these appointments impact the implementation of these important policies to move America forward?
Yes, sir. I believe that we need to get them appointed as soon as possible. We have some very good acting the chairs or directors of these, but the sooner we can do it, the sooner we can get down to the business of making these institutions work better for the American people and making sure that Main Street can prosper, because I've been very concerned. As I've mentioned today, I've met, I think, the personal meetings with over 50 community bankers. I spoke to more than 300, and I think it's very important to get these regulators in place so that community banks, small regional banks can make sure that Main Street participates with the rest of the country.
Thank you. I completely agree, and that's what we're hearing, I'm hearing from the regulated entities in my district and across Tennessee. Secretary, given the IMF's limited success in pushing China on transparency and debt restructuring, how can Treasury justify supporting the IMF's current leadership?
We are in constant discussions. It is leadership that I inherited. Thus far, they seem very open to the Trump agenda, America First, and advancing the issues that most affect the United States and working Americans, so we will keep pushing them on that.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The gentlewoman from Ohio, the ranking member on the National Security, Illicit Finance, and International Institutions Subcommittee, Ms. Beatty, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, and to